How's it going, everyone? James Lynch here doing a quick reaction video to the news that Ben Askren will be boxing YouTube star Jake Paul coming up in March of 2021. This according to bjpen.com, my buddy Cole Shelton. I'm going to get off the screen here and show you guys the story here. This is legit, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, if you read the article here, Jake Paul to box Ben Askren in March of 2021. In the lead up to Paul's fight against Nate Robertson, he had called out Askren and several other UFC fighters. Chael Sonnen mentioning, who's a member of the media now, Chael Sonnen saying that apparently Jake Paul told him that he is boxing him. And Cole Shelton, who wrote this article for bjpen.com, also said that Askren had confirmed that the fight is happening. So huge fight. I mean, first off, just with the two names involved, I mean, I know, people don't think Ben Askren's relevant. He very much is relevant. He's very, a big personality in MMA right now. And Jake Paul is obviously, taking the world by storm with his boxing and, coming off that TKO win, or the knockout win, I should say, over Nate Robertson in his last fight. So this is a mega fight. And I knew once the YouTubers started entering the boxing space that we were going to see more of this, but this is just a huge fight with two big names involved coming up here in a boxing fight. Now, look, I've already seen people on my timeline, just from when I retweeted the article, saying that Ben Askren's going to get destroyed. Guys, you're not looking at this properly here. Jake Paul has two professional boxing fights, two fights here. He beat a basketball guy and he beat a guy by another guy as well here. That's two fights. Ben Askren, yes, he's 36 years old. Yes, he's coming off hip surgery. And yes, his striking is not amazing by any means here. Ben Askren is still a martial artist. So you guys can't ignore that. And he has TKO wins. He has a TKO win over Carl Amasu. He has a TKO win over, who else here? He's had a couple of them in his career. You look here, Aoki finished him. He finished some other guys and won championship. Like, all these guys are a million times better than Nate Robertson. That's one thing I wanted to just point out right off the bat, because I know there's people who just don't know much about Askren, didn't watch much of his career, and think he's a pushover. But Ben Askren is a martial artist. He's an Olympian. He's a high-level wrestler as well. I realize the wrestling won't come into play here, but this idea that Jake Paul's going to go out there and steamroll Ben Askren, I don't agree with that at all. Ben Askren, is a martial artist, has been training for years. He's got, 22 professional MMA fights. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at, so to speak. So yeah, there you go. Ben Askren going to be boxing Jake Paul next year. I'm all about this. I know a lot of people in the media don't like this, sort of sideshow stuff, but to me, it doesn't affect anything in MMA. It doesn't affect anything in boxing. This is just two big name fighters coming together, trying to box each other. So that's my thoughts on Jake Paul and Ben Askren. Again, Askren does not have, amazing stand-up, amazing striking, but I mean, I would favor him over Jake Paul. I would, even at 36. I think he has a better shot than Jake Paul does, in my opinion, just from the amount of martial arts experience that he has compared to Jake Paul. I mean, we're talking about two different guys here in terms of skill set. And just because he knocked out a basketball player does not mean that he's going to knock out Ben Askren as well. And let's not forget either, I'll just mention this last thing before I get out of here. Yes, Ben Askren is on the recipient, or was the recipient, of one of the best knockouts in UFC history with Masvidal knocking out Askren. But it was one of those situations where Askren was ducking his head down. Masvidal was coming up. It was like Masvidal did the perfect thing. Askren did the worst thing you could do as far as, that knockout coming to fruition here. So it's not like Askren's a guy that gets knocked out all the time. He did survive a Robbie Lawler knockout as well. So I wouldn't put it past it for Funky Ben to get the job done. So I want to know what you guys think. Here, let me get back on the screen here. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you going to be watching this fight? What do you think of it happening? Like I said, bjpen.com with the story. You guys can go read the entire thing over there after you're done watching this video. I'll be watching this. I think this is going to be starting a trend of where you're going to see these big name YouTube guys or whoever go and do boxing. It's the 2021 or 20 version of celebrity boxing, in my opinion. So there is a market for it. Like I said, we saw Nate Robertson and Jake Paul fight a couple weeks ago on the Mike Tyson card. That certainly helped their viewership, and we're going to see more of this going forward. So let me know what you think below. Who are you picking? Who do you think is going to win? And if you guys want to make sure you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be awesome. Give a like on this video. Hit the subscribe button. I'm James Lynch. I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, really interested to see how this all comes together with Ben Askren boxing Jake Paul.